One of my favorite things to do when I get super stressed and anxious is to start crafting. They're a way to procrastinate, but like create something at the same time. Yeah. If I'm being productive by making something, even if it's not exactly what I should be doing, then like it still feels good, or at least okay. Knitting gets a bad rap, I think. Um, People picture like a knitter as like an 80-year-old grandma who just like makes sweaters that are like too big or too small for her grandchildren that just like never wear them. Um, but hey, I can also make sweaters that don't fit right. I can do that too. There's something about putting loops through other loops just really does it for me. Like, I don't know. And even like boring stuff like stockinette stitch or like, I don't know, just like super boring shit. Like, it calms this down, which in turn calms this down, I think is what's happening. Something else that really works to curb my stress is these little like miniature kits. I haven't been doing this for very long, probably like 6 months, but it's like a soothing activity. Like, I don't know. There's something about gluing tiny styrofoam balls onto a tiny wooden terrace that makes it look like a tiny grapevine covered terrace. Uh, it's like I can create like my own world that doesn't have any of the problems that like my world has. Perfect. Like the person who's sitting there under that tiny little grapevine terrace, they've never had to make a short film, you know, like, or maybe they have, but like they weren't stressed about it, you know, like definitely not. Um, yeah, like surely if I can make this tiny little miniature, then like definitely I can find a job, you know, like in my field. In the next 6 months, like definitely, like I can do that. I can make this like little tiny miniature. Like I have it. I got it. You know, it'll work. Um, okay, well, I forgot to talk about watercolor. Um, Watercoloring. I've been I've been watercoloring for a while. You know, like I think it's one of those things that like um your parents set you down in front of like some water and some paint and a piece of paper and they're just like go ham. And that's what I did. I went ham. And I think for me, I really like how like it's like the idea of a thing or like sort of like a it's the representation of something without it being like super detailed and precise of that thing. And I think that that's what appeals to me the most about watercolor is that um, you can really make something beautiful without um, without having a lot of skills and a lot of precision, and you can make something really cool in like 10 minutes. And like, look, this is now a mushroom. How cool. Yeah. Anyways, I'm crocheting a sock right now. Like, I tried to knit it first, but it didn't work, and I just like, I don't know, I think like you have to knit socks in a circle, and like I really don't know how to do that. Like it was like literally the first instruction, and I was like, no. I think for me, it's like the thing about these like little crafts are like most of them for the longest time have just been like they've been labeled as like women's work. They've been labeled for women as things to pass the time with or make goods for their families. But I think like these things are pieces of art, and I just think that we should try not to devalue them by calling them crafts or, you know, like labeling them as a more feminine or like girly activity. Like, I made this and I made this, and like these are really cool and like they're comfortable. There's just like a blanket and then like a pillow case, but like they're also like pieces of artwork that like sit in my house, and I'm really proud of them. And I think that we should take more pride in them. A lot of these things are a way to curb stress or anxiety, but that doesn't mean that that's all that they are. Like, I think I'm guilty of just sort of being like, like, I craft. But it's like, yeah, but you make these pieces of art that really look lovely, and you're super proud of them. So, like, I think you should talk about that, I guess. Okay, well.
Oh, get me away from here, I'm dying. Play me a song to set me free. Nobody writes them like they used to, so